G'day mates, g'day comrades. I wanted to make a quick video about residential tenancies with some suggestions as to what the fuck you should do to negotiate your way into a rental arrangement that suits your fucking varied circumstances, because all of our circumstances are varied, haven't they? I had a lot of confused people that message me because they see that there's a rent strike thing there, as there is in a lot of other countries, but they're not sure how they can sort of navigate their way into it and then back out of it on the other end of the fucking pandemic in a way that doesn't fuck their tenancy history over forever. They're also landlords and real estate agents by their very nature are fucking gronks. Some of them are sweethearts, and they seem to be the first to inform me of that. Thank you for letting me know that you're not a gronk. You are the exception rather than the rule. So by rule, all landlords and real estate agents are gronks and must be viewed as such. And also, government's issued some framework for this, but it's pretty flimsy. You've got a moratorium on evictions for 6 months, but doesn't that just mean that it's 6 months and 1 day that they can get rid of you? So we need to operate on that assumption, because we have the barest of protections from the government. Like, it's a big one, but it's not enough. And it also doesn't remove all of the bargaining power from the landlord or the real estate agent anyway, because they can do a whole other bunch of stuff. For example, a lot of landlords and real estate agents, they pay the water. I mean, they can just forget to do that. They could just withhold or forget to do repair, maintenance stuff for the next 6 months. And most importantly, and here's what I worry about the most for people intending to, trying to negotiate or intending to rent strike, they can blacklist your name on any one of a number of private residential tenancy databases. The gronks are organising. So we need to consider what we're supposed to do. And I just get so many people that are confused that message me that I thought I'd talk about this. Now, I'm not a tenancy lawyer, yeah? And I'm also not a tenants union. They exist, and if you're in a really fucked and unique situation and you need tailored advice, go and reach out to them. I'm just one gronk with a camera in a world full of gronks with cameras with way too much time in their hands. But I have dealt with so much of this shit over the past few weeks that I thought I'd distill and yarn about the best of what I think we should be doing. Most people whose incomes have been affected are on a fraction of their income right now, but with pending government relief from May or whenever, we are expecting to be on perhaps a little bit more than we were. Some people maybe less, who knows. What I want you to do is to try and, in good faith, negotiate that with your landlord in writing to suggest that you'd like to pay a proportionate fraction of whatever it is that you're on right now, reflecting how much your income's gone down, and then a separate fraction of whatever it is you're on once you get that government relief, because that's a good faith accounting of where your situation lies. Why am I suggesting that? Why don't I just say, just go into be a sick cunt and do a rent strike? Like, why don't you just be staunch? You need to do something that creates a paper trail that reflects your earnest attempts to bargain or to negotiate in good faith. Again, let's go back to the idea that in 6 months and 1 day, that landlord immediately, the moratorium's done unless it's extended, and they immediately go to fucking kick you out. You get an eviction notice right away. Well, it's been extraordinary times. There's been a bit of a chest bug going around, so you're going to try and appeal that. So you'll end up at a tribunal. And all of this is about what happens at that tribunal. Because both of you are going to be there, and what are the tribunal going to want to know? They're going to want to know that in the extraordinary circumstances of this time, the pandemic, the chest bug going around, that you have attempted to do what our dear leader, Scott Morrison, bless him, said that we should do, without actually providing any real protections for people to make sure that they do that. He said that we should talk to each other. We should sit down, landlords, tenants and what have you, we should talk to each other. They're all fucking gronks, so it's quite hard to talk to them. But anyway, that's why I'm doing this video, isn't it? The tribunal, this hypothetical tribunal that you've had to attend on appeal after 6 months and 1 day because they're immediately attempting to evict you, are going to want to know that you or them or you and them have attempted to do something to mitigate everyone's loss of income and to bargain in good faith. Okay? Now, if you can demonstrate that what you did now was you messaged them, you emailed, you wrote them a letter saying, okay, here we are, right now, I'm a bit fucked, I'm on 40%, next month, I'm on 60%, so can I please pay 40% right now, and please pay 60% from next month, and then we'll check in monthly, and if I magically end up on my full income again, I can go up to paying the full rent, blah, blah, blah. And the landlord said to you, no! Then who are they going to find in favour of? You're the only one in that situation that attempted to do what the government suggested that they do. The landlord didn't do it. They acted like a petulant fucking child because they're all fucking gronks. Okay? So you will be in excellent standing for that. So again, let's go back to what if they attempt to say, no, I want the full money. No, I want it. First of all, you don't want to hear that from them via the phone. Fuck that. Don't answer phone calls about it. If you accidentally do from a private number or something and just go, oh, sorry, I can't, what, sorry, what, is it, hello? Because I've spoken to people who've had their landlords or whatever reach out to them and they go, oh, sorry, oh no, I'm so sorry, I can't do anything, oh no, I'm so sorry for everything, but I need every penny. Fuck them. All gronks. You don't want them to tell you that over phone because that keeps the paper trail out of it. So no phone calls, but if you get a refusal of that in letter, remember I call it a negotiation because the tribunal's going to want to know you tried to negotiate. But the reality is we're not playing around here. You don't have the money. You are on reduced income. You don't have the facility to go out and get a new job because there's a bit of a chest bug going around. And you need some kind of amnesty or relief from that landlord. You have attempted to do more than that. You haven't simply said, no, fuck you, I'm not paying a cent. You've said, here's my situation, what can we do? They haven't come to the party. If they refuse, I would remind them again, this is not so much a negotiation in which I'm trying to barter a lesser amount. This is me saying, and be polite at all times because we want this to look good for that hypothetical tribunal hearing. I am again reminding you that I don't have any room to move here. This is extraordinary circumstances. There's a pandemic on, and this is all I can afford to pay right now. And if they don't accept that, then you have two options as far as I can see. One is to hold on to the money that you offered them, hold it aside, put it in a separate little savings account or what have you, until such time as they come to the party and actually negotiate with you. The second one is to say to them, well, I'm going to start paying you that reduced amount because that's all I can afford to pay. All of that is very good faith. It demonstrates, and it can demonstrate on paper either way, because you're either holding onto the money or you're sending it to them, for that tribunal meeting down the track, that you have attempted to bargain in good faith and that you have acted with honest intentions and that the landlord has acted like a fucking petulant kid. Now, there's a lot of gronk landlords feeling really sorry for themselves at the moment. They're all saying, what about me? It isn't fair. I've had enough and I want my share. They're saying that even if they try to suspend their mortgage repayments with the banks, who are all offering these suspensions, they're still going to have to pay the interest. I mean, I'm no financial expert on fixed or variable rate fucking home loans. I don't fucking know. I'm never going to own a fucking home. But they nevertheless are saying that. And this is particularly going to be important for those tenants, who aren't fortunate enough to be about to receive the job seeker or the job keeper in May. They're not going to get anything. Someone on a working holiday or what have you, someone who doesn't fit either of those criteria, who's just lost all their income and doesn't know how the fuck they're going to get it back and is stuck at home because there's a pandemic on. This is going to be really important for them. My answer to that is, well, fuck you, Gronk. Negotiate that with the banks. figure out what the interest is. It's going to be a lot less than full rental payments anyway, one would imagine. Go back to the tenant and arrange for them to try and pay that. I know you don't have a fucking crystal ball as to what interest is going to be, but you can do your best. And that's what we're supposed to be doing with each other right now, because there's a bit of a chest bug going around. There's other landlords, also fucking gronks, who are saying, well, what am I going to do? This is my source of income. Go to Centrelink like you pleb tenant, you fucking dog. The welfare network that exists in Australia, which was woefully inadequate before and is only temporarily being doubled up, it is not for bad people. Centrelink is not for failures. It is meant to be a network that exists to prop up people who need assistance. You should be going for that right now if you don't have a source of income. I'm sorry that your walking human cash teat can't spit out cash from the fucking udder for you right now. You need to go to Centrelink. It's not just for plebs, it's for you too, even if you are a fucking chosen one middle class asset owner. Now, the stuff that I've suggested in terms of a negotiation, is that going to stop that landlord from doing the other thing that I've talked about, which is a real danger, which is, them going to a private residential tenancy database and blacklisting you? Unfortunately, no, it's not. And there's no tribunal that can hear anything related to that. That's just not going to work. But these are extraordinary times. And I would suggest that if your landlord is a gronk about this, or real estate agent, then, and you have created a paper trail of good faith negotiations, then in a year and a half time, once all this is touch wood done, you can go to that next application that you're making for another rental property, and you can say to them, look, I understand that there's a high likelihood that I am blacklisted in some tenancy database because my landlord would not come to the party during the COVID-19 pandemic. Here is a paper trail of the earnest, good faith negotiations I attempted with them. And they didn't come to the party. So what I've outlined here is the best bet you have for how you can get to the point of having to rent strike, which I hope you don't. I hope you get an actual solid outcome to these negotiations you're going to attempt. You're going to negotiate a pathway into that strike or those reduced payments or whatever it is that's best for your situation, and then get back out of it in the other end in a way that hopefully doesn't fuck your whole tenancy history and prospects over forever. I do not disagree with a rent strike. I do not disagree with it. And if you're in a big apartment complex and you are in a position where you can organise with everyone inside that apartment tower, in a group or what have you, fucking do it, Solidarity all the way. However, we need to be considerate of people's situations, and we need to not be sort of so ideologically bound by the merits of the rent strike that we're basically causing these asset owners like landlords to have all this leverage over people and to completely fuck over the residential tenancy prospects of a whole generation of people during a really trying time. It's hard enough as it is. As I said before, I'm not a lawyer, but I am in touch with one. And I've been talking to quite a few people. I was a couple of weeks ago anyway, and putting them through to him, and just learning more about the situation through individual issues so that I can pass those learnings on to everyone on the page. So if you are in a fucked situation and this video didn't help you in some way to figure out what you might do next, then hit me up, send me a message. I'd rather us sort of figure out what the fuck we're going to all do on this together. But create that paper trail and don't let these gronks fuck you over, because they want to. They fucking want to. You are nothing but a cash teat to them. But you need to be creating a paper trail that a mediating body such as a tribunal can look at down the track and go, yeah, you know what? They did their best.